Okay, no script. Let's just freaking go. Hey, what's good? I'm sure a lot of people have probably been, new to the channel. I get the idea that you probably might be, considering the whole video topic and how it's probably been done to death already, and you get the idea. You know exactly what I'm planning to go for right here. But well, do you guys just not, vibe with Roblox anime games anymore? Like since a long time ago? Oh, I mean, how long has it been since we just universally agreed, hey, this game happens to be pretty good? Yeah, sure. Yes, I totally get that every game is supposed to, satisfy different niches and everything. Not every game is built the same. We get the idea. It's impossible to please everyone, but you know how, rare it is to, find, a genuinely fun game? Outside of monetization, outside of just big communities, after big Steam or whatever. No, not none of that. When have we gotten anything close to the level of quality we did back in 2016, guys? You remember when simulators weren't all over the place, and we could just play whatever we wanted, and we had plenty of great Dragon Ball games, great Naruto games, great Bleach games. Oh wait, that sounds like an oxymoron. I don't think that. Has there ever been a Bleach game everyone really just universally loved? I don't think there has been. Oh my gosh, you guys are freaking. Oh. Oh no. Oh. And to add to it, One Piece games, Seven Deadly Sins, maybe Sword Art Online if you happen to be pretty lucky. Yeah. Maybe there's one good Demon Slayer experience that's not a simulator or just a massive bandit beater. I haven't checked in a while, personally. Why would I? I've been too busy, making games and designing games. I was too broken up about the loss of Anime Cross that we just kind of lost the sauce at one point. If you happen to be new here and haven't been since the dawn of since the dawn of time, basically, how many games do you know that aren't filled with a bunch of crazy sweats, toxic communities, and overall just bad working environments? Just in general, how many people are in the Roblox anime community just making games for the sake of making bank off of dumb kids? Or, us, who are literally starving for anything at this point. Starving! AAA games aren't even satisfying us anymore. We can't just go off and oh, Naruto Storm can save every single one of us. No, that can't be the case. Do you... oh my gosh. Please tell me that I'm not, the only person in the freaking room that has this feeling. You probably have that one game where everything just clicked for you. Everything clicked. Everything, and since then, has been utter freaking dog shit. And, I'm sorry to go and say this to a bunch of people, but I'm sorry. They're not in it to go and, actually make you happy anymore. There are more than... people! Companies... just random people on the internet who happen to know how to script, they will rip you off. Guaranteed. They will. You'll lose a whole bunch of money, you'll go spend it on an experience, they'll be gone within, I don't know, a year, 2 years, 3, if you happen to be, really lucky. Maybe a 4th. Barely anyone makes it as long as, Anime Battle Arena or, any of the big guys that you know since the dawn of time. Not even... look, even Blox Fruits is just a massive money pit. You go throw money in it. Give me more money, guys, for the 2-piece. The 2-piece is real. Remember the freaking fruit incident? The freaking fruit incident. The dragon fruit incident. Oh my gosh. Are you guys just gonna let this happen to you? Are you just going to go and, have them walk all over you like this? Like, oh, we'll just go and go to the people who actually care about us. Okay, who? Like, which of these guys that you happen to go and, like, love very, very much, which of them are just gonna go and say, hey, you know what? We're actually gonna go listen to our community for once. We're gonna go make that game better, and we are going to go make sure you can get everything you could possibly ever want for free, just because, you know, hey, it's a fan project, right? You get the idea. But no, that's not possible. Oh, even if that were to be the case, guess what? Premium payouts! You would still be committing some kind of freaking crime by doing all this poor stuff that you could just do on, like, another engine. And, like, maybe have to go make more models. Like, it'll take a bit longer, but, you know, you have more freedom, I guess? Not have to go make all that money? Could that possibly be, like, something that could happen? Like, why are you guys thinking of the easiest possible thing when it's going to actively, like, hurt Roblox as a whole? They'll just make bank of stuff people already know, and they'll just keep making you pay for things you shouldn't have to pay for in a free game. I'm going to be real with you. The only thing you should ever be paying these games for is time. Time. That's it. Nothing else. Don't give them your hot sauce. Don't give them your freaking money. Don't give them freaking nitro or anything like that. In fact, you know what? Don't even pay the freaking project on any Patreons or anything like that. Don't give them money for a product you don't even know the quality of. Don't do that. And you are a bad freaking consumer if you just eat the slop. Ah, delicious slop. Ah! And you know what the worst part about all this is? Like, the absolute worst part. Like, there are actually people out there who are making these games off of black market freaking Robux. Like, from, like, the worst possible spots, man. You know, like a condo server, potentially, credit card fraud, potentially. I guarantee you, there is something causing these games to be paid more than, the exchange rate. You might think it's, like, totally justified because, like, it's cheap. Like, hey, it's way cheaper than the options that are officially given. Like, no, guys. No, don't be condoning this. Like, oh my god. Like, let's just call it what it is. It's a get-rich-quick scheme. It always is, every single time. You make something really, really simple, you go and, like, pretend that it takes a whole lot of time to go and make, when really, you're probably just sitting on your ass and, like, I don't know, like, eating Cheetos or something. I don't know. Like, I don't know what the heck these people do anymore. Like, with all the AAA games that take a ridiculously long time to go and make, like, trying to go get all the pores and freaking Kratos' butt crack, all of a sudden, like, I don't know, man. We lost the sauce a long time ago. We do not need games to look pretty for the sake of being pretty. We could just have good games. We can have good games off of Roblox. Off Roblox. Look, we don't even have to go and give, Mr. Your safety, it's not our problem, any more money than they already have. Like, look, what's the point of even doing this anymore? If we as a community could just collectively decide, like, hey, let's support stuff that will cause Roblox to be less shit. Or, like, something that, reminds us of the good old days when people actually gave a shit. Or, something that can actually be modded without somebody getting pissy about, oh my gosh, it's stolen! Oh! You get what I mean. You understand exactly what I mean, and yet you don't do anything about it. You decide that, hey, not my problem. No, it is your problem. Even as a consumer, you need to go and put this out there. You gotta go and put this in your brain that you are not going to go and make things worse by being idly by about it. Now, this is totally different if it's like something mechanically deep, like, or a big RPG with a nice big open world. Like, those take a long time to go and make, and such complex systems that can break so easily, and, well, they're just a huge problem. They're just a huge problem to go and make. Heck, MMORPGs. Half the time, they're not even worth making, because who the heck is going to go run 1,000 people on a server, like 200 people, all on one server, and like, who's gonna pay for that? Who is honestly gonna pay for that? I get it. Some games are just naturally more difficult to make. That's what I get. However, when it's like a tower defense game, or like, I don't know, like, your 9 billionth anime cross clone, or like, do they just do anime battle arena clones now? Like, have we gotten to that point where we've been derivative off of derivative? I have no... Wait, we've actually gotten to that point. Everyone is being derivative off of each other and somehow finding more ways how to go and make it greedy. Yeah, I love the strongest battlegrounds. Like, it's a beautiful game, 100% deserves all the praise it ever gets. Like, I love the freaking game. But I'm gonna be honest with you, having to go share that game with a bunch of sweats who just want nothing to do but to gank you, to go randomly, insult you for no good reason, like, do I want to go and share, like, such a beautifully made game with people like that? Like, I get it. It's, you're, sometimes you're just trying to be funny, you're trying to go and, be yourself, but sometimes maybe being yourself in a game where people are just trying to go and, like, I don't know, relax? Maybe go and, have a nice PvP. Like, generally, funny, weird stuff like that. The stuff that would end up, being, the territory of Roblox being a kid's game for the most part. You can't make, like, stuff for, like teens or, like, adults, or, maybe they're a bit nicer or less toxic. No, there's gonna be, like, a bunch of children who are gonna, end up being exposed to, like, I don't know, weird people or something, or terminally online people as well. That's not gonna be real good in, like, a free platform like this, especially if they watched One Punch Man for, like, the first time, or, like, barely ever watched the series. They come into this game, they see it's pretty cool, and they just are, like, bombarded with, like, the worst that humanity has to offer in, like, a simple block game that was based off of Lego. I don't think that's, like, really a good idea, except all the other games that happen to go be derivative of this one game, right? Some are genuinely good. Others are just blatantly trying to go and cash in off of, like, talent they do have, but refuse to do it for anything else. And I just want quick and easy money off a trend that will end up dying in 2 years. That's what I've been talking about this whole time. I feel genuinely horrible for anyone who ends up, having their, honest work, like, say, Arcane Odyssey, or, like, that, like, Blox Tales game. Yeah, I end up hearing about that, or, pretty much anything. Just be, like, overtaken by a bunch of people using, like, any IP whatsoever, like, not even just, anime properties. I mean, like, Undertale, I mean, like, Deltarune, I mean, anything that has a pulse, and it already exists. People don't have the proper license for it, but yet they're just allowed to go keep making money and pour money into these projects that probably aren't even, like, official or anything like that. They don't have the Toby Fox freaking stamp of approval, or, like, whoever the freaking maker is. Of course not. That really ever happens. If that does happen, they probably should show that right at the beginning of the intro of the freaking game. I guarantee you that should be a thing. But, of course, not gonna happen, unfortunately. I don't know what the heck that is about, honestly, which... I kind of want to go and segment this off into, like, another bit about, how I just feel about Roblox, and how, coding culture or like scripting culture or just any kind of culture has been like deteriorating over the past while. I just want to go talk about that before we get into anything else. First, let's go and take a break from me just randomly ranting about silly Roblox anime games. Just talk about Roblox as a platform, just straight up. I don't know how to feel about it anymore, man. Like I already discussed the games and stuff. Some of them don't feel the same. I mean, yeah, I had this there was a few games I happen to go and enjoy, just a nice few, and like a FPS game, but that would had a whole bunch of freaking monetization issues. Oh, talk about it, man. I don't know. I don't know anymore. Either it's all money swap, or it's a really, really sad case of a good game being drowned out by a bunch of things all going wrong, or it's like a Dead by Daylight clone. I wouldn't wish the kind of things the Dead by Daylight community has to go through on anyone. I wouldn't want to go do that, and yet we have Dead by Daylight likes in the freaking game, Pillar Chase 2 or, Forsaken, for example. I feel awful about it. I really do. You guys deserve better. You guys really do. You could go look for a neat itch.io game, maybe made an action platformer demo or something like that. Have fun. Have fun. You don't need to be playing Roblox with your friends all day on games you don't even like, just to go and keep that friend group together. Go find something fun you can go talk about with your friend group. It's that simple. And on top of that, all the freaking condo shit going on, all the, sex pet stuff going on, all the gooning and all the user-generated content slop that's been thrown out all over the place. I get it. You really want to be creative. You really want to go make your Gokus. You want to make your Gojos. You want to go make everything you could possibly ever want. But it's asking. All of this, it's asking for Roblox to just become worse for everyone. They'll realize how much money they're making off of, blatant IP infringement, blatant child safety, stuff going haywire. And trust me, as somebody who has been accused of, being the worst kind of freaking person to be around in Roblox, I think it's pretty freaking significant to go bring this up. I don't want that ever happening to something that should be an innocent kid's scripting or building platform along the lines of something like Little Big Planet. Even though Roblox is older than Little Big Planet. It's its older brother. And, Little Big Planet isn't even around anymore because somebody decided that nobody is allowed to have any fun anymore. And, I don't want that to happen to you guys. I don't want that to happen to the Roblox community because the grifting, the hustling, the utter degeneracy of the freaking, people that can sometimes go around in this platform, I don't want that to go and make you guys have a Club Penguin situation on your hands about a platform that used to be really, really chill. It was nice, tight-knit, it was pretty nice. Wasn't there for that time, but, and of course, it was obviously, worse. Without a doubt. I'm gonna be honest with you, there is a bit of nostalgia blindness to that, but at least you didn't have this. You didn't have all of this. All this stuff. I don't even know how to go and, put this into words. Or, how to go flash it up on the screen. Originally, this was supposed to be something that I would end up editing for a bit. But no! This isn't worth it! This isn't worth editing! Because I could potentially be scarred from the shit I have seen. The shit I have continued to see. And no amount of close community freaking Tokyo Ghoul games, or closed community Naruto games, or, like, heck, I don't even think an Anime Cross remake on Roblox could save the shit that's been going on. Like, Roblox is cooked. Straight up, it's cooked. Just get off the platform. If you happen to be, like, over the age of, like, a certain point, or, you just want a nice experience to go without having to worry about horrible things happening to you, or, like, weird avatars just randomly showing up in, like, games like Natural Disaster Survival, or, like, any game where that has a sudden anime influence, don't do that to yourself. Just go buy yourself a good game, enjoy that, okay? Like, go get yourself Ultra Kill. Go get yourself something like RimWorld or something. Like, if you really happen to be on the violence side of things, you like those violent sort of games, just go find something that's right for you. Don't do it on Roblox. Don't do this to people, man. Okay? Let me go make that clear. Let's not do that. And I know a lot of people who I've been formerly friends with, and, people that I'm still friends with, who might disagree with me on this one. Like, really. Like maybe, like, hey, maybe something should be bloody on Roblox? Like, I get the point, but this is a kids platform. Like, this is predominantly something kids want to go and look at and play. It's free, it's generally got a blocky aesthetic, pretty colors, plenty of, baby games, like roleplay games, or child care games, or pet care games. All that. I personally think that, the days of Doomstar Brick Battle, like cartoonish violence, that kind of thing, yeah, that's okay. But, like, people getting beheaded and stuff? No. I'm sorry, guys. I am so unbelievably sorry. But we have to take that off this platform. I'm not doing it because I'm a conservative prude who ends up being a dick to everybody and, has to go own the libtards or something. No, I'm a leftist. I do believe that this kind of expression should be allowed, just not on this platform. You understand what I'm trying to say? That's all one big long take. Big long audio file. All in one take. I just want to go and make this clear to everyone. I don't have anything against any of you. Okay? Okay. The last take happened to be, about continuity, all that kinds of things, power scaling, everything that usually ends up going into, like, that kind of thing, or, demonizing, that kind of thing. Of course, we're still going to be talking about demonizing other things, but, well, we'll focus less on that, personally. And the others. The others, other than that. Sorry. So, how many times have you seen a community just get randomly badmouthed because, the very, very freaking loud minority of people? Like, I'm gonna say this, like for anything in life. Straight up. Not everyone is the stereotype, in a sense. Not every freaking Sonic fan is absolutely fucking nuts. I know this because, I personally am. I've seen plenty of cool people who like the funny blue hedgehog that are perfectly normal. They're not Chris Chan. They're not anyone in the Sonic Passion form. Oh gosh, do you guys even remember? Of course. Of course you don't. You get the idea. Just in general, with communities, some things are inherently malicious, and I totally get that. And that's the same with, this kind of effect too. Don't be doing that to other people, man. Don't be at each other's throats for something that only, 2% of you actually did. It's straight up like, the bell doesn't dismiss you, I dismiss you kind of energy. Straight up. Or, everyone being punished for something the fucking in-class clown did. It's that stupid. Don't do that. I know I just had this off of, me saying that, hey, maybe don't, put, really, really gory and, suggestive stuff on Roblox. But this is just in a more community sense. Like, if you happen to be, liking something like, I don't know, Doom? You enjoy Doom. You love the shit out of the freaking games. You don't go shit on the freaking newer Doom fans for, being, I don't know, loving their ultra-realistic graphics and having it really, really hard to mod because I love modding. Yeah! Or the opposite. And, just because they don't look pretty or have, a huge amount of, obvious storytelling, you can't go shit on the older fans who just really love modding their freaking Doom and enjoying making user-created content over stuff like that. And I feel if I may, about the Friday Night Funkin' community for a second, I feel like the community is kind of more geared towards adults, but children have become a predominant thing. It just can't be helped sometimes, and it kind of sucks. It really does. They see bright, colorful thing with colorful thing about, I don't know, mature topic, and they just gravitate towards it. You can't really stop that. What I do have a problem with is making the inherent argument that because they exist anywhere, that it's suddenly okay for, you to go and, white knight about something and, ruin something for somebody else. First of all, you don't fucking know the person. Don't pretend like you do. You might know their online persona or something, but unless it's, a lolcow or anything like that, where they just blabber everything about themselves and, been doxxed multiple times, you don't know them. You do not know them, personally. Don't act like you do, because it's going to look real fucking bad when it turns out that you are just a clout chaser and really, really wanting to go get those sweet brownie points. Yay! To go and get, I don't know, some street cred. Because, I know how the commentary community reacts nowadays. I know how they do things. They just do it because, I don't know, happens to be popular. They want to go and, sensationalize it even more for the, no reason. If you were truly trying to inform people, you could just, I don't know, do it in, a 2-minute long video, or, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, if you happen to go and, want to go give an opinion off of it. But, really? 10 minutes? 10 minutes? Or, even throwing your opinion on some of these, bipartisan documentaries? Sometimes? I don't get it. I don't get any of you people. Oh, why does everything have to be an us versus them? Why does everything have to be like that? Why can't we just admit that, shit happens sometimes? Just shit happens. Yeah, there's fucked up people. We all agree on that. We all want them gone. Okay? We don't want Screwfiles giving a bad name to furries. Or, anthro enjoyers. Sorry, I forgot my proper term for it. I don't want, people, going around making things worse for somebody who just wants to go play their silly block game, for example. They want to go play their silly block game. They want to go be, they just want to go do fun things, blow up fun towers, and do fun things like that. Don't make it about white knightism. Do not make it about, trying to go fight for something that you personally would probably turn around and do the exact same thing. Like the moment somebody's not looking. Don't do that. Don't fucking do that. And if you're going to go and do that, at least have the balls to go and say that you do that shit too. Be honest with other people. Be considerate towards other people. Be good Okay? This isn't something you need a religion for. Or like, you don't need it to be where, oh, the great God will not let me in if I decide to be, not nice or something. No. No. If you even think it's about that at this point, I'm sorry. Just straight up, you're probably cooked. Just, if it ever became a matter of that, like you had to be good, or otherwise, you're just worth nothing. No. No. Nothing like that. I want you guys to be respectful to other people. I want people to go and give positive feedback whenever there is negative feedback. I want people to hold each other accountable in the way that they would love to be held accountable themselves. Just straight up. Straight up. I hate to say this, but we as a society have become like a high school hive mind. Like just big ass freaking high school hive mind. Whatever, the big content creator from America thinks, we all think the same. And it sucks ass. It legitimately does. We could be so far ahead of other people. The kind of effort people make into exposing videos, the kind of effort people make into digging things up about other people, the kind of things we do doxing other people, could all be done making things better for all of us. Every single one of us. You could do something that you legitimately enjoy. You could do something really, really cool, spread a positive message that way, like, I don't know, say code, say like script, or anything like that. Be one of the good ones. Be one of the awesome people who we look to, and are like, you know what, that guy, fucking cool. I want to be just like them. Even if you are already grown up, you just want to be as cool as that dude. Okay? Sure, they might have something in their closet, like, I don't know, something they did when they happened to be a kid, or like a teen, or like early adult. I'm not really the kind of person to go like, as soon as you're an adult, you're liable to everything you end up doing, because that's what the legal age in America says. Like, no! You're a nerd emoji if you end up legitimately thinking like that. You're the kind of people that, some of us love to make fun of. And you're the reason how come, legitimate sex offenders, or like people who actually do, like, I don't know, do horrible things to like children, you're the reason why they get to go off scot-free. Because they don't go around announcing that kind of shit. They don't make the mistake. They just do it. They just do the thing. And you end up shooting a poor guy who's, like, I don't know, 19 or something. And maybe he has, like, a bad social life. Or, like, maybe he's developmentally behind. I don't know, personally. Just because the average set as a certain thing doesn't mean that, everyone is that average. Sometimes we're way below that. Sometimes we're way above that. And you get the idea at this point. You truly get exactly what I do mean. And I just wish that people, just understood. I just wish people could, have, I don't know if it's really common anymore, because common sense is like average sense nowadays. Most people have common sense. I don't really know about that one, Chief, but don't demonize other people for the sake of putting yourself up, okay? There are other ways to go and put yourself up, and other people up, without having to go bring someone else down first. You don't need to make a rise and fall video about a dude who's just trying to go and make bank. Okay? Hey, like, if they happen to be like dumb morgues like content, don't do that. Don't feed into it. Don't feel like you have to do something because, oh my gosh, I cringed. Like, no! Work on your cringe control, man! Maybe you are the cringe. I'm sorry to tell you this. But if you find yourself constantly looking at cringe things to go constantly look at, and like constantly making it your whole personality, then maybe, just maybe, you are their target demographic. You are the cringe. Sorry to say this, man. I know. It's a lot. It's a lot. Right, okay? This is like a separate thing altogether, and I think you probably left after I stopped talking about Roblox, which is entirely okay. In fact, I probably even said as much. Like at the very beginning of the video, like with that little disclaimer, like no script. You get the idea. I probably said something like that. I don't blame you if you don't exactly agree with what I'm trying to go and say here, because like some people think that they have the right to do anything, and yeah, that's kind of true. You do have rights. It's all good, man, enterprises. But however, people also have a right to not be treated like shit. That's just all I'm trying to tell you. Okay? Let's get that very, very clear. Okay. The last thing I just wanted to go and talk about before I end up ending this particular clip is, Oh, yeah. Especially if you happen to be, like, a developer. I've seen this a bunch. Freaking developers gaslighting their community or, like, trying to go and, like, minimize things, complaints. And just like, oh, they're not really problems, man. Just don't, you get good. Get good at the freaking game, man. Like, sometimes, that's okay. When they're, like, fucking awful. Like, when the point doesn't even make any sense. Like, I believe all Zelda games should have online competitive PvP with rankings and no, that's fucking stupid. Get that shit out of here. No, we don't want Nintendo doing that. But if it happens to be like, maybe there should be more atmospheric storytelling in Zelda. Or something like that. Yeah, I mean, you have a point, even if it's already there. I understand. I get it, but like with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, with Anime Cross 2, well, I can't believe that I had to go bring that up again, but if you have, like, a bad creator, inherently, like, the creator is malicious in the way they happen to go and do things, or they just don't care, they'll just kind of make things worse, in a way. I hate to say it, I know a lot of people look up to, a whole bunch of, like, commentary channels. Whole bunch. I personally am friends with a few of them. I think I am. I am personally. Like, Sober, he's, like, really freaking cool. I ain't gonna lie. But I'm not going to go and say that, commentary is all good. Because that's not really the case. You don't need to be commentating about this stuff. You don't really need to. You want to, sure, but half of these guys just be saying, like, vitriolic stuff against the other guy. Sometimes without even, understanding the other point of view, or, like, even before the other point of view even comes out. Like, dude, sometimes... Again, I get it if they're obviously fucking lying. Or, being dense, or pretending like it never happened, or, anything like that. And, blatantly fucking victim blaming. We all know exactly what a piece of shit person looks like. But they're not all exactly the all-encompassing thing that you should really be striving towards. I mean, like, look at iDubbbz. Like, now he's just blatantly... I don't even know how to say it anymore. Like, is this how my fellow leftists end up doing things nowadays? If so, I don't want anything to do with them. we're gonna go make our own party with hookers and blackjacks or something like that. I'm sorry if this happens to be a bit long. It's just, I just like to talk. I just like to talk to you guys and like try and be like the best person I possibly can. I know. This is like probably the longest video I've ever done that happens to not be a stream. I just want to go and share every bit of grievance I end up having about, things in general. Okay, now let's get on to the coding bit, or, just, I don't know, developers in general. Look, it's, how can I say this? It somewhat goes into the same point of why, some people feel entitled to go and put a price tag on whatever it is they do. And, if it doesn't have a price tag, it's somehow a problem. We're somehow transitioning from that point, essentially. Going off of the same stuff that I'm sure a few Roblox developers would love to tell me. And I don't mean like the people who are like doing honest work, making their own assets. They're really, really trying to be, different, using their own IP, and not anyone else's. No. I'm talking about those guys. Why honestly, I want you to be real with me for a second. Why exactly do you think that, you can just have black market money coming into your silly, goofy game, and, you're allowed to just make money off of it because you made it? Sure, I mean, I guess in a simple sense it could be, sort of that way, but no. When you're doing that, when you're pouring that money into that project, I already said this before, but it's basically funding a game that shouldn't really be, funded, or, just have microtransactions. Just a general idea. But yet, these people act like they're, like, real developers. Not like they're just, obvious scam artists. And, some obviously do have the dignity of, caring about their people, of course. We're not, going to go and, put in everyone it's all bad, of course. Because that's never true. It usually never is. But, say, compared to a guy who's, making their own custom, Elemental Battlegrounds type game, and the same, but it happens to be, I don't know, a Jujutsu Kaisen game, but it's, named something else, maybe, Sorcerer Finger Blast, or something ridiculous like that. You get what I mean. I would go for the original IP every single time. Because, if they're going to be getting money, I want it to be the best it can possibly be. With, no worries about weird legal stuff and no moral obligations to not make any money. You get what I mean, right? See, I do feel like most developers do get the idea of this. Most of them really do. And I understand, and that perfectly. Don't be paying for things that, are, gonna be temporary. They're on platforms where you're not gonna be able to go and, download them at any point. Why would you do that? Why would you just waste your time on something like that? That's what I sort of want to go and ask. However, here's the point where I get just a bit more pissed. Do you ever feel like, the overall development of video games has always been a bit of a backseating, more of a gatekeeping kind of thing. Like, like people, like I get it. For some people, it's really hard to go and learn a certain one thing. Like I get it. Games take multiple people. Like most AAA games, like most AA, the stuff you end up seeing sold on Steam. Yeah, I get that. I 100% get that. There's a lot of time put into those games, a lot of consideration, a lot of art, and all the credits happen to be like at least like 5 or 10 or 15 people. And, a few of them happen to be made by one person, but it's like pretty rare, and those people are usually 100% goated. But here's the thing, though. I feel like the overall... How do I say this? The overall, space that would normally be, like, for a really, really good fan game, it's all wasted on things like clout chasing and, trying to go make money off of stupid kids. I know I'm saying this, but let me go put it in a different way. What if, instead of making this weird knockoff Jujutsu Kaisen game, for, I don't know, like, a month of extra coding? Or, like, a week? 2 weeks? Potentially 3? You could end up, programming, in a Jujutsu Kaisen online fan game? Maybe? That could potentially be the case? Sure, that would require a bit of, technical know-how, how to go and, get the servers all up and running, what you want to do for the servers, and that's generally the whole, thing behind it. But don't act like, like, Roblox is a crutch for you. Don't feel like, because you know how to code, and a lot of people don't. You are allowed to, gatekeep your hobby, or, talk down on other people for, not being able to do the hobby fast enough. That's personally kind of cringe. Really, really cringe. And I don't like that. I don't like that in general. In fact, I don't like it when I go to like an innocent little developer Discord. And I go and like hit my pitch for, something like Anime Recrafts. I think I've talked about this before. In other videos. I'll discuss it more, after we end up getting through this bit, of course. I mean, like, I gotta go direct to some more positive, right? But, the amount of people just straight up, hey, what the heck is with all these people wanting to go and, like, pitch their game ideas, man, and then just, like, not talk? Whoa. Whoa. They must be some kind of, like, awful people or something. Like remember fucking scammers. Like, why don't they do it themselves, fucking stupid? Like, no. Don't think like that. Don't ever think like that. We as a species are inherently social. We love to talk. We get the idea of wanting to talk even if we happen to be more quiet about it. Like myself, sometimes, there are more quiet extroverts that exist. Sometimes there are louder introverts. They all exist. They all exist, and we should not pretend like everyone fits the same glove, because they do not want to talk to people who, honestly, they should not be giving a single shit about. And, I just feel like, it's a bit backwards, to say the least. Like, for example, I don't understand how come people can just, well, not my problem. I end up talking to people all the time. And this isn't directly towards anyone. I don't feel like, for targeting anyone. I love my friends. I appreciate them very, very much. And, they've been really nice to me. Especially you, Amethyst. I really appreciate it, man. Especially after the big, lore post I ended up making on the Chill Clan channel. But, I mean, kind of lore channel. You get the idea. But I feel like as a community of like aspiring developers, like we're not just talking about coders here. We're talking like concept designers. We're talking like game designers. Talking people with concepts. We're talking artists. We're talking all these people. Surely I'm not talking. I'm not speaking for just one. Just me. I hope I'm not being selfish when I end up saying that some people's ideas are genuinely genius, and somebody just has to go and pay attention to it. And I'm even guilty of this myself. I don't know what people are really capable of, because personally I don't like. People don't go out and do this sort of thing just naturally. They have to be directed in order to go do that, and that can be a bit hard when your friend group just wants to go chill and play like silly games and stuff. I completely get that, and I get people who have a similar experience like me and just decided to quit like a month later, or like 2 months, 3 months, maybe even like 4 years. I don't know how it's been for you personally, but do not think that these people who would rather be paid for for doing something like that, do not think of them as as right because you wanted to go do something nice for another community. You wanted to do something nice for someone else. You wanted to be cool. You wanted to be the person that a lot of us wish we could be. And personally, I 100% agree with anyone who would want to go and make sure those efforts manage to get more known. I agree with initiatives to go and help stuff just happen. I don't agree with the, But I need to talk about something else. Something that might piss off a whole bunch of other people. And I know exactly what kind of people I'm going to be pissing off. Because, come on, we're in the age of AI, man. But I am not on the side of AI. Believe it or not, I am not on the side of it at this time. Vibe coding? People just be putting prompts in their freaking games, making low-effort stuff, and just be flooding it all over the place. And then saying they're like actual freaking game developers. Or, the scam companies always put out shovelware. Now they can do it even easier, and it just kind of sucks. Devalues, people's fun, people's hard work for other things, and it just blows. It blows complete ass. And I am so sorry to people who have their good-ass games being flooded with just shovelware. Just like the Roblox marketplace. Or in other areas. Or the Nintendo Switch eShop. Or like the PlayStation Store. Anywhere like that. I feel bad for you, okay? I feel horrendous. I feel horrible that somebody would take something that honestly should just be like a fun little free hobby as like a legitimate revenue source. For something that probably was just, so you could. You get the idea. I personally don't know how, developers are supposed to feel nowadays. If they try to do anything good, the big corpo just ends up shutting them down and makes them miserable. And when the company actually wants to do something good, they just fuck it. We'll tank it. We don't care about it anymore. We'll just fucking tank it. And it goes the other way as well. It just really does. I feel like the industry, it's not nice to anyone with, a developing passion. And people who are, web developers or people who know programming languages aren't being treated right. And I also believe in the idea that, it's kind of led to this gatekeeping, in a sense. Even though there's like a bunch of tutorials all over the place. Like, don't get me wrong, people can still learn incredibly fast, faster than they ever could have. Like, there are plenty of tutorials, plenty of people that will tell you what to do. But here's the problem. Some people don't learn through stuff like that. They want, like, hands-on experience. They want people to go and, like, be able to, like, do something like that. And I know that, in order to go do that, and, there's sort of, a bit of a stipulation that, yeah, you probably should pay them. But here's the thing, though. I keep saying this a whole bunch. I work in the, fan game industry a whole bunch. I just generally care about, doing, like, altruism and stuff like that. And, it's pretty hard finding people, with the same mindset. I personally would like to learn from somebody with that kind of mindset as well. I don't have anything against you guys. I just feel like, the better the heart is, the more I'd like to go and personally pay attention to it. Like, I know, like, I don't want to be paying for somebody for a shit fucking experience. You get the idea, right? It's personally friendlier for the consumer, and like, I know everybody wants a balance and stuff like that. I get it. I get every part of it. I get that, it might have been hard for you and you had to go and practice a whole bunch. You probably got into university debt for it. I actually did this a whole bunch with a bunch of, like regarding quiet game developers, and I made a whole video based on that. I really did. But wait, hold on a minute. No, that was something I ended up writing that never got really shown to the public. I'm sorry, I ended up getting distracted for a moment. Yeah, you see, that is human error, okay? I am a human too, I am not a chatbot. Don't really, don't think I'm just, just randomly talking up my ass or something like that, or, because I don't know, because I know. I understand. I have worked on many games. I make many games. And I get it. However, people should not feel like just because they had to go and, like, pay a ridiculous amount of money for a course that they didn't even know it would even be good for them, and they just regret it. Don't feel like, everyone else owes you something because of that. We don't, like, I hate to say this, but we don't owe you anything. Just like, how people say that, we don't owe, you don't owe us shit. You get what I mean. You get exactly what I mean, and I guess what it would really like is, I don't know, just things to be nicer, more initiatives to go and show up, to go potentially, like, help out people, especially with, the big Roblox exodus that could end up happening in the future. We want to make sure that people feel like they belong, that they can learn properly from people, like looking through code and stuff, and, gatekeeping that kind of stuff, and, like, not wanting to go make open source projects as much could potentially be bad, because I know that, Campus isn't exactly the best. It's like, the infamous Photoshop of stuff, like the poster child for horribly managed open source projects. I just want more people to be able to learn from a different variety of ways. Not just videos, not just, having to go pay somebody else for the privilege, or, a book, or anything like that. We always want to go make sure we have more options, and you get what I mean. If you somehow feel pissed about it, well, congratulations, you're part of the problem. And just a lot of I just feel a lot of stuff I just feel about right now. It's just a lot. It's a lot I want to go and just talk about. Okay, I think I should probably go and get and finish up the closing part of this video. Oh, what I actually plan to go and say about all this. You get what I mean. So, you might be wondering, if you happen to be, skipping to this point, because, I left the marker here to go and help you out, what exactly is the point of, all this hour of basically talking was? What exactly am I trying to say? What is, the grand message that I would like to go and impart upon you all? Oh, and, what would I like to see going forward? One, obviously, less greed, of course. Less greed, less, gatekeeping, less, superiority complexes, that's the thing, and, and more initiatives for people, more, being nice, being cooler, less, drama. You get the whole gist of what I'm trying to say in this nice TLDR, in a sense. I want things to go and just be better. I want everything to be better. That's all I really feel like saying, and personally, even though, I do admit I am not rose-tinted at all about, of the time that I ended up playing, shit can get worse. 2016 was not a very good day, for, not a, sure it was the best time for Roblox, but it wasn't the perfect time. Of course it wasn't. You had people trying to grift in other ways. I think DevX really ended up being the thing that, not only spelled the beginning, but also the end. Which is a bit sad when you think about it. That and, Turkish exchange rates. So, if you're wondering how come I'm even, in the middle of talking to you guys about something like this, why I've spent, a whole hour basically recording my voice, and, maybe going through, one take on one of these audio clips, I just wanted to go and say that that I appreciate you guys being able to think critically about things. I appreciate it if, you end up finding something about this video that, maybe I explained, really fucking poorly. Because, of course we do. That's kind of what happens when we just kind of sit in a microphone just talking about things. It's bound to happen. And I don't blame you for, wanting to go, oh, and, maybe correct me on some things. I'll totally make sure to go and, say hi and, be cool about it. Point is, I would really appreciate it if, if Roblox looks better, if we had more options of anime fan games to go and play that happen to not just be visual novels or, porn games. I really, really would appreciate that. And because they're really far between nowadays, just mods in general, unless you're going to a certain point, that's almost impossible to go and, find something really, really cool. And and I think the closest we ever got to that happened to be Naruto vs. Bleach or Hyper Dragon Ball Z. or believe it or not, Super Smash Flash 2. I can't believe I actually even said that, but we genuinely need more projects like those. We need stuff that, pushes the envelope of what exactly we can do, what kind of cool things we can do, and the standards that a company should be able to uphold through, us being good. Good and respectful people, and overall being kind to each other. It lets other people be less greedy about things. It lets us be able to go and stand up for ourselves more often, and that's just what I'm really talking about. It's why I ended up going into like the whole thing about Anime Battle Simulator 3 not costing a dime, and despite me having to go and like do the thing I very, very much hate, and like putting microtransactions in Anime Battle Simulator 1 and 2. I still feel bad about it. I feel horrible about it, actually. Hey, believe me, if anyone felt like remastering those games, I would remove all of them. All of the microtransactions. Just have you be able to go play through the entire game. And, I also wanted to go and say this, because it's getting to be around the point of, when we end up losing all those filtering-enabled games. I think you probably remember it well if you happen to be old enough. You lost a whole bunch of classic games. Not a lot of them came back. They kind of got hit pretty hard when, filtering-enabled came around, and I think we know why. I'm glad it happened, of course. I don't want child safety to ever be a concern on Roblox, but we lost Anime Cross because of it. We lost, Anime Battle Simulator 1 and 2 because of it. Sure, I was able to go and make sure that, I could uncopy lock the game before that were to happen. Anime Battle Simulator 1. But Anime Cross? Anime Battle Simulator 2? Not so lucky. They're like lost media now. You can't play them anymore. And I don't want lost media to be a thing that we have to go through. I want you guys to be able to to have a game that you can go and access when, I don't know, the creator goes like, whoosh, one day. I want a game where guys can go be able to go mod the shit out of it, have fun, and, just show people that there is a market for simple yet effective games. And if you happen to be, at that point, and in the video where, we're getting to the end, that's why I started an initiative like Anime Recross. I did so because I personally feel like Anime Cross, despite its arguably shady origins, maybe, it's a moneymaker of all things, it's a good-ass fucking game. And I believe that you guys should be able to go and play it. Just how it was, well, relatively to how it was. Of course, it'll be a remake on a different engine, of course. Be able to go and make content for it, be able to go and have fun with it, be able to go and not be held down by, Roblox moderation, be able to go moderate your own servers. It's like somebody's absolute fever dream, man. It's brilliant. It's wonderful. It's, it'd be even genius, even though some people might not think it might be genius, but, you would have to go and really look at it, really think about it, in order to go and see that, yeah, stuff like this is a good idea. Being good is, like, a good thing to do. There's, like, nothing's conditional about it. So, I guess when you end up, finishing up, this part, you can go and enjoy, the Anime Recross, Discord, which happens to be relatively dead at the moment, but I would appreciate if it became alive. I could go and foster a nice community, make sure that, credits are all due, and Heck, maybe if Sakurin himself were to go and show up, that would be, like, wonderful, honestly. If he just suddenly looks like, you know what? I shall deliver the source code to all of you, so you can go and enjoy the premium Anime Cross experience. That'll be great. That would be great, but I want to go and make sure that, it stays, like, accessible for you guys. Like, Counter-Strike Global Offensive servers. I mean, like, no. I mean, like, ancient Counter-Strike servers, like Team Fortress 2 community servers. You get what I mean. Like, everyone has gone with a local server. You can go and join your friend, and if you want. Like, just simple stuff like that. That's what I'm really trying to aim for. I'm trying to make sure you guys can enjoy the game. So, if you want to learn more about the project, you can go and, like, check out any of the links I end up leaving in the description. Like, underneath, in the part where I end up typing a whole bunch. Look for all the things, see if the project happens to be, something you would be interested in, and if you happen to be bored one day, or say, like, maybe you are a cloud chaser and you just want to do it for the sake of becoming Homelander V2 or something like that. And you want people to go donate to your Patreon. Not for the project, of course. No. If people end up seeing your work and they decide, you know what, let's go support this guy's career, if they can do that for something like this, it's like a big win. It's a massive win, and things continue to be free. Well, and people get something cool, and Bandai doesn't have to go, shortchange us anymore. Do you think that would be pretty cool? You think that would be really cool? I think it would be pretty cool. Well, I'll see you there. If you want to go and talk to me about, anything, of course, that I may have gotten wrong or anything, like, or maybe I overgeneralized a bit, just make sure to go and let me know. I'm a very kind of talkative person, and of course, I just really care. I really care about you guys. The 105 subscribers I already have, the whole bunch of them probably soon to come from a video like this. It means so much, and I want to go give back to the Anime Cross community, which I have relentlessly bullied for, being in support of Anime Cross 2. Yeah, that's the thing that happened. But, who knows? I could have something up my sleeve. Even, something cool could end up happening because of it. Sure.